Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 UFL Fan Awards. Now introducing your host for the evening, Colt of Caw.
Thank you, Laura, for that introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2026 UFL Fan Awards, being presented in my bedroom because I don't have anywhere else to be. Ladies and gentlemen, UFL community is basically the entire UFL. We are the voice of the UFL, and our voices matter. So I made a decision to make the 2026 UFL Fan Awards to showcase some of the best fans along all of social media, and even some that are not really on social media and they're at the games. Sorry. We have a lot of awards. 14. I know I said 15. Unfortunately, I had to scrap the costume fan of the year. But that is all good. We still have 14 awards to show the best fans in all of sports in the UFL community. So, just want to give a update of how this is going to go. I'm going to go each by category. And these envelopes are the winners. I do not know who won. I had my sister go through the form and put the winners in each envelope. Most talented, as you guys can see. The very last one we're going to do is the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. And all the others are in here. I do not know who won. So this is going to be news to me. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we started off by doing the most talented UFL Fan of the Year. And the winner for the most talented UFL Fan of the Year is... Should off by saying who were the nominees. The nominees for the 2026 UFL most talented fan of the year were UFL Reels on TikTok, Fernando Mick UFL, The People's Gambler, and Amira. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, the most talented of 2020, the most talented fan of the year is. Oh my gosh, this is a problem. This is gonna go great. If I could just get the envelope on it. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a predicament. It is a tie. Amira and Fernando tied. Huh. Well, I have an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, when this video is posted on my social medias, there will be a Twitter poll. You guys decide who should be the most talented fan of the year. Amira or Fernando Mendoza. Wow. I'm honestly shocked it tied. Wow. Alright. Well, that is quite a predicament. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have brief intermissions, not throughout every award, but we got to save this one for last. I do want to say the prizes for each. Not every award will get a prize. All 8 UFL Fan of the Years will get a prize, and obviously the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year will get a prize. The prize is a own crochet mascot. The UFL has been doing the mascot bobbleheads throughout the entire season. So I'm having my sister, thank you Laura, own crochet mascots for every fan of the year. And that will be sent if you guys want one. Obviously, the winners, send me your DM me your addresses or a place that you want me to ship them to. I will ship them. You guys don't have to pay for anything. It is on me. So let's do the next one. Most creative, ladies and gentlemen. And the nominees are the most creative fan of the year, Amira, once again, Sky Kid Phil, UFL Stats, and District Defender. And the winner of the most creative fan of the year is District Defender. Congratulations, man. Wow, shocker. Congratulations, District Defender, on most creative fan of the year. I will say I do have to watch more of your content because I have not watched a lot. But congratulations, man. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, gotta put the hat on. Alright, let's give it up next. You know what? Let's get into some of these fan awards. Like the fan of the years. Who should we do first? Let's do Aviators. Let's do the Aviators. Ladies and gentlemen, The nominees for the 2026 UFL or 2026 Aviators Fan of the Year are Ducky, Redettes 1. Also, I saw your tweet. You didn't know you were in this. Bucky1294. Or Buckeye, my bad. And Columbus Aviator Dude. And the 2026 Aviators Fan of the Year is... I ripped it in half. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Ducky! Ducky, congratulations on being the best fan of the year for the Columbus Aviators. I gotta go to a game eventually. I ripped this in half. Ducky, congratulations. Let's go to the most traveled. This one, I think I know who won. Just by what I looked at the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominations. The most traveled. UFL Fan of the Year. Brahma Babe. Alexander. Brahma Bro. And Gracie Lamb. Alana Miles. Ladies and gentlemen, the most traveled UFL Fan of the Year is... Ladies and gentlemen, her first award, Brahma Babe, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Brahma Babe. I met you recently at the Battle Hots game. You were amazing, and your husband, Brahma Bro. Congratulations. I don't know. I think she'll have more awards tonight. I'm not quite sure. Congratulations, Brahma Babe. Let's head into, you know what? The Kings Fan of the Year. The nominations. The 2026 Kings Fan of the Year. Let's pull it up. Louisville Kings Court. Kingsguard. Andrew Bumps. And 502 Kingdom, who makes a great merch. And the 2026 Kings Fan of the Year. Also, just a shout out the Kings fans. I went to the Louisville Battlehawks game in Louisville. Great stadium. I will definitely be back. You guys got to tell the fans down and below to get more hyped up. 2026 UFL Kings Fan of the Year is... Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Louisville Kings Court. Congratulations, guys. You guys are rocking I think the third best fan base in the UFL, in my opinion. Behind, obviously, St. Louis and DC. Louisville Kings Court. Congratulations, guys. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our first intermission. We are going to run an ad. Just kidding, there's no ads on this. Make sure, if you guys go to the United Bowl in Washington, D.C., June 13th. If you guys can't, that is okay. Make sure to support your teams in the UFL playoffs, aka the Battlehawks. Best UFL Media Show. Nomination for the best UFL Media Show. The Bottom Line Podcast. I actually met one of them at the Louisville game. Great guy. Around the UFL. Alternate Football Network, which they have a show as well. And Spring Ball Boulevard by Maddie Fresh and the People's Gambler. And the winner for the best UFL Media Show is... If I can just open the event. Oh. It is Around the UFL. Congratulations, guys. Oh, my seat just... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are going to do more of the announcement for the 2026 UFL Fans of the Year. Let's do the Gamblers Fan of the Year now. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominations for the 2026 Gamblers Fan of the Year. Wedge, Mr. Predator UFL, Joker Wild, and Sneege. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. And the Gamblers Fan of the Year is... Joker Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, man. You are the 2026 Gamblers Fan of the Year. Next, let's let's do most dedicated. The nominations are... My voice kind of just went away. Most dedicated Fan of the Year. Fernando McUFL, Brahma Babe, Vanister, and Arena Fan Kin. The most dedicated UFL Fan is, ladies and gentlemen, with her second win tonight, Brahma Babe. Congratulations. Congratulations. 2 awards for Brahma Babe so far for the Innocent Awards. Congratulations, Brahma Babe. Remember, stay till the end until I announce the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. The most important fan award. All these are awards. Now, the Storm Fan of the Year. Let me jump in the nominations for the 2026 Storm Fan of the Year. Brandon UFM, Matt Holbrook, HM LRZN, and Ets Devs. Hopefully I pronounced everyone's name right. And the Storm Fan of the Year is... I can just open the thing. Brandon UFM, you are the 2026 Storm Fan of the Year. Congratulations, man. Remember, send me where you want your little mascot crochet pattern sent, and I will send them to you guys. We have a couple awards left. Wow, we have 5 awards left. Renegades Fan of the Year, Battlehawks, Defenders, Stallions, and the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. Let's announce the 2026 Stallions Fan of the Year. We're not going to get into the stuff that's been happening with this fan base, but your nominations are State of the Stallion, Brom Nation, Gracie Lynn, and Stallion Stud. And the winner, the Stallions Fan of the Year, is... I saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, State of the Stallions. Congratulations, man. You're honestly the biggest Stallions fan that I know. I enjoy your content. This is for me personally. I don't know you well, but you are the 2026 Stallions Fan of the Year. Congratulations. We're gonna save these 2 for last. The Renegade nominations for Renegades Fan of the Year: James Baker, Jenna Reagan, and James Arist. And the winner, the 2026 Renegades Fan of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, James Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, James. Keep up the content. I know you just went out of your way to get a 2026 hat. I think it was the Birmingham Stallions Championship hat. Congratulations, man. Also, keep up with the Mike Rapoli edits, hype edits. I love those. Defenders Fan of the Year. The nominations, the 2026 Defenders Fan of the Year: Bear Snake Defender, T. Onesdale, Lemon Guy, and Doug Defender. And the winner, the 2026 Defenders Fan of the Year, if I can just get through it. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bear Snake Defender, 2026 Defenders Fan of the Year. Him getting a photo with the UFL Championship is an absolute aura farm of a photo. I can't believe I said that. Bear Snake, congratulations, man. Hopefully we see you guys maybe at the United Bowl. I really don't want that, but congratulations, Bear Snake, for 2026 Defenders Fan of the Year. 2 awards left to be announced: UFL Fan of the Year and Battlehawks Fan of the Year. This one means a lot to me, obviously, because it's on my own fan base. So, let's announce the 2026 Battlehawks Fan of the Year. Nominations are Amira Bojlemincy, which, if you guys don't know, he the main guy of the Battlehawks Road Warriors, who goes to every Battlehawks away game, and they tailgate. Don Battlehawk with his show, Battle Talk, and Excalibur. 2026 Battlehawks Fan of the Year. And the winner is Excalibur, ladies and gentlemen. 2026 Battlehawks Fan of the Year. If you guys don't know what he's done, he doesn't just do this for Battlehawks games. He also does it for kids in hospitals. He gives out little plushes of Jesus. Rally towels. I have mine somewhere. He is probably the most well-known Battlehawks fan actually at the games. Excalibur. I will tell you personally, you are the 2026 Battlehawks Fan of the Year. Congratulations, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the last award to announce, the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. This one's coming in with a surprise. Obviously, we're going to do the crochet. The prize, an actual trophy that says 2026 UFL Fan of the Year crocheted. I don't want to personally buy those little, like, custom trophies you buy off the line. I think, honestly, those personally is kind of, like, doesn't really mean anything. I want to do something personally that means somewhat of amount that my sister be made. So the nominations for the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year: Brahma Babe, Kane's Grill, Dare Snake Defender, and Bannister. And the winner, 2026 UFL Fan of the Year, is Brahma Babe with their third award, and she is the 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. I don't know what much I can say about her. She supports her San Antonio Brahmas every game she goes to. She's been to not every game, but one game every week, traveling there, supporting her Brahmas, supporting the league, meeting players, meeting fans. I met her on Sunday? Met her on Friday. She's amazing. Thank you for coming to St. Louis. Hopefully you'll be at the United Bowl. If not, that's okay. Brahma Babe is your 2026 UFL Fan of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The 2026 UFL Fan of the Awards. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you won any award, contact me. If you want a team fan of the year, contact me. Tell me where you want the prize shipped. I will ship it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys all for watching. We will definitely be doing this next year for the 2027 UFL season. I guess breaking news. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, call is the law. Bye-bye.